All right, we're into lesson 43 in book 3, Beginning Rock Guitar. The title of this one is Beware of the Snare. And I'll explain a little more about what that means after I play through it. As I play through this, try to imagine two guitar parts played on one guitar. Okay, so when I talk about beware of the snare, this is like a straight rhythm. So you're like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and you could think of it that way, or you could think of it in fours, like 1 2 3 4 2 2 3 4. But I would think of it more the first way because we're accenting the chords on 2 and 4. So you're thinking of offbeat accents on beats 2 and 4. Like if you were a hip person to rhythm and you know how to clap on the offbeat, it'd be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And you can hear 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So these chords that I'm playing very sharply are on the offbeat. And when I say imagine two guitar parts played on one guitar, if you imagine the low sounding, this part, the kind of growly chords, it has its own special rhythm. It's like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and this rhythm guitar part is very present, but it's not as accented as the offbeats, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. And in certain R&B bands and rock bands, you might have a guitar player that he might be even playing up real high, like this is a G chord. What if I played it up here like this, like 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. And you might have one guitar player just doing what we call the chinks. It's like chink, chink, chink. And that's what we got down here. It's like chink, chink, chink. Because the drummer is accenting that depending on the drummer. Some drummers hit the snare harder than others. I won't talk about this experience, but I was at a jam session once where the drummer hit the snare so hard it made a piercing pain in my eardrum. I couldn't believe it. And it wasn't like I was standing right next to his snare. I was standing in front of him, but oh gosh, I mean, I couldn't believe how loud that guy hit the snare. But anyway, so so you'd have like 1 pop, 2 popped, 2 popped, pop, 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 and that's what the drummer would do. They would hit the snare on 2 and 4, and so you put these two parts together. You have the, which is moderately loud, filling in, and then you have 1, 3, the chinks, right? So we're doing a basic 6-string bar chord, and we're hitting three bass strings with an open string in between. And then when we go to the chord change, well, actually, I should mention the names of these chords. This is G, F, G, F. That's because the bass note is a G and this bass note is an F. When you change, when you do move it across the street, you have this kind of major chord with the first finger on the bass, and the third finger is pressing the fourth, third, and second strings. You want to try to mute the first string. Try not to press the first string, or you're going to get what we call an add sixth chord, which we don't want that. We want just, and so you're hitting two strings for the rhythm part, whereas on the six string chords we were hitting three strings, so that was a little more full. So the fifth string chords are not going to be quite as full sounding as the sixth string. Plus the chinks are not as high as, and that's one fewer string on the chinks. You're doing three strings, whereas on the six string chord you were doing four strings. So that's the chord change: C, B flat, C, B flat, back to G, F, G, F, and then, sorry, and you hit the sixth string open, going to D, and then it's C, D. So it's D, chink, C, D. And you're kind of doing a chink right when you change to D. So it's, again, D, C, D, C, B flat, C, G, F, G. And then D7 it's sort of like a C chord shape, moved up 2 frets, adding your pinky on the third string. And so it's third finger, second finger, pinky, first finger. And you don't want to hear the first or the sixth string. So then back to G. So let me do the measure before the D7. It's like G, F, G, rest, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. So on the D7, you're being pretty much the same volume. You're not doing the chinks. It's more driving. It's like chink, chink, G, G. And the last 4 chords, you're just hitting all 6 strings in a very full and loud way, kind of. So you want a good contrast of where somebody listening might think it's 2 guitars playing. And you might have to train your pick to, so you're kind of just strumming 3 strings in the bass, and then your pick, I'll do just a minute preparation on the 4th string. You don't really have time to really prep, but I make sure my pick, get used to just hitting those 4 strings, and hit them like you're just like doing that with the pick, so you're really putting a lot of force into it. It's not like you're just strumming down like that. You're starting on from the 4th string out, like pop, 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 and trying to be as loud as you can to synchronize with the snare drum. So he's kind of going boom, boom, chop, boom, boom, chop, boom, boom, chop. You're going chop, chop, boom, boom, chop. Okay, had to do that slide off. Okay, but so again, like there would be in a lot of R&B, you listen, to some early R&B, and Curtis Mayfield and he also played guitar for Major Lance, and often his parts were a little more elaborate than that, but he was kind of a funky guitar player, really good guitar player, and he also had his own hits that were kind of social, political hits like Superfly, kind of anti-drugs and anti-stupidness, in the era. But listen to Curtis Mayfield and other people like Steve Cropper, who played on Stax Records, played behind people like Wilson Pickett and Otis Redding. Really, almost all the Otis Redding and Eddie Floyd songs, and also Wilson Pickett. He actually wrote horn parts to a lot of those songs. But he was a great rhythm guitar player, R&B. So if you like this, please press like. Even if you don't like it, press like anyway. It won't kill you. And please subscribe to this channel if you're getting something out of these lessons. And look for John Hedger Guitar Studio on Facebook and Instagram. Thank you so much.